A warm Wednesday welcome. How's that? We're back. West London VR. It's Wahoo RGT time. Look forward to these. 7.10. Only 3 races left in the series after this one. Lot to play for. Really, this is between Alistair McAlpine and Jan Uignoord at the top of the rankings. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Look at the best of 6 rankings, though, when we get them up. Wouter Clay's, I think, going for that one. Let's see if they're all in the pen in a minute. So, Jan van Oudenaarde, as I said, 859 points. Alistair with 877. It's not a lot of difference. 18 points. One bad race, and Alistair could slip. 3 races to go. Lose 5 places. Jan's back in. Rob Miller from R3R next at 819. James Melville from Glasgow United. 765. Craig Jones, Stevie Cooper. Wouter Clay's down at 7th, but that's because he missed a race. Cole Dickerson from South Africa, New Zealand. And Grant Webb, Robert Gilmore making up the 10. And look at the next 10 too. Stars all the way down. Special mention to Ingmar van Beers. He contacted me this week to confirm what I often wonder on screen as to whether him and Jorgen are brothers, and they are. So the best of 6, that's where it's interesting. That's quite close, and people can better their scores in that. So that can shift around. But I think Wouter Clay's has got his eye on that one. The Ladies League, Maria Witsky, she's not riding tonight, and I think Eileen isn't either. So I think they're both... Maria's slightly injured, but I think Eileen didn't get the trainer tonight. She shares it with her husband. So anyway, I think Eileen's going to have to wait another race to take the lead. 52 seconds to go. I suppose we better have a look at what's going on the course today very quickly. Now, I would mention you can see my house on this course, and there's a prize of free entry to the next race if you can pick out which one of all these houses we're riding through is mine. It's fairly flat. It's a loop round the Ruislip area. Funny enough, in the news today, there's pictures of the vicinity. We're going out to the east here. That final leg on the far right there is where some spies that have been arrested as we record this race today used to live. So the newspapers, lots of pictures of houses around that area. Not sure if it's actually on our route or not. So here we go. We've got 6 seconds to go. It's going to be very, very fast off the front. Let's have a look what happens. And here they go. Race started. Another good turnout. Fantastic, really, for the summer. Absolutely delighted with the numbers we're getting on these races. Stevie Cooper going out the front now. He's in some good form this season. Not just in these races, but I've seen Stevie in some other ones. Marino Sesson too. Top Jimmy in 3rd. Ivan van Berg and Jan van Oudenaarde staking his claim at the front. Can't quite see Alistair McAlpine at the front. I'm sure he's there. Henry Ganotzi and Johan Olofsson from the South Africa New Zealand team. My mate Gautam Thakkar there. Sam Josh in there for Canada. All names that you regularly get in these races. Yep, Snaver on the front at the moment. Al Markey is with him. A couple of those R3R jerseys. Look out for those. The light blue at the top with the white, red and black shorts. R3R. And you can see there's a little bit of a clump there. This will not be the whole race. So I think this lot have got away. Somebody in green just at the back, just getting back on. And hopefully a bit of respite. Nobody really pushing it off the front at the moment. Ingmar van Beers off the front now, getting more mentions than ever. There's the gap. We can see that. 29th position. Hamilton, Andrew Walker in there, and Reese, Hamilton, Mike Wareham in there, Brett Smith, Wouters, Carcella. There's 2 Carcellas, and I always get call them the wrong name if I'm not careful. Brett Smith on your screen at the moment at 34th, sorry. And who have got Egger and Geriatric. I'm sure number 38 isn't the real name. And Andy Evans at 40th was Miguel Canada just came into the picture there. So I can see, did I see Jessica in there? Yeah, Jessica's at 44. So one of the ladies from the ladies team did turn up at Almarkey, and a few just see there's the other Carcella at the back. I think it's Oscar at 45th, Elong and Markey just a bit behind. Wonder if anybody didn't start. Henderson at 50th. Bear in mind there's 3 bots in there, so it's you're kind of looking at 47. I think there was about 49 starters or something. So we shall we shall see. So there's Marky, who's Tom Alsop, 52nd, hasn't started. And I'm thinking I've got a feeling Tom had something like that, a bit of a dropout a race or two ago as well, so he's not having the best of luck. So Dumont from Belgium is in first position, pulling out a 28-metre lead over the pack, but with 13.9 kilometres to go. I don't think that's going to stick. I should be very surprised if it did. Johan Olofsson and Jan van Oudenarde still haven't seen Alistair McAlpine, and this could be Jan van Oudenarde's day, because if Alistair McAlpine isn't in the race, we will have probably a new leader if all goes well for Jan, in terms of like no dropouts or anything like that. Andrew Krajewski in there. I hadn't seen him before, so it's possible still that Alistair's... oh, yes, there he is, 21st. Yeah, there he is, in the GCN kit. And very smartly, I think, just sitting in the pack and biding his time. Next to him, the Ratio Racing kit of Andrei Krajewski. Will Brown there in the purple, riding for Westerly. We see Andrew Walker just off the back a little bit in the green there. Hopefully he'll get back on, but it looks like the gap's getting a bit bigger, and once you fall off these, it's very hard to get back on. Let's see if Andrew can do it. I think the gap's getting bigger. Meanwhile, Dumont out the front is carving out quite a little gap there, isn't there? I mean, it's probably over 20 metres. As I say, I don't think it will hold. And if they are chasing him, that's going to make it even harder for Andrew Walker at the back, isn't it? And I think the gap is getting probably beyond what Andrew can make up now. So I think the best thing that Andrew can do is sit back and wait for the second group to come along, get in there and sit in and get back some energy. Very hard to do this on your own, and you will get caught by the pack behind. Sometimes, though, the groups behind don't all work together, and if they split up, sometimes you don't get caught, but more often than not, you will get caught if there is a proper bunch behind you. And I think you can see this now that Andrew's going to get swept up by this lot. Now, the skill here is that they're going faster than you, but as they go past, you need to adapt to their speed. Otherwise, they'll be past you, and then you're fighting to get back on. So let's see if Andrew manages this one very neatly. Now, this is the point. I mean, you've got steering on RGT. You get in, tucks in straight away. Absolutely exemplary. He probably cuts the group up a little bit because the two riders got off the front. So he might have caused a bit of a problem. I'm not the greatest fan of the way that RGT barges you out the way. When a rider comes in, it barges you out the way, and I think that's the wrong way round. I think that the incumbent rider should block the other places. So I think Andrew's possibly just split this group up a little bit by his manoeuvres. As I say, I don't think RGT have got that right, but they probably have their reasons. James Melville now is chasing down Dumont, and he's got Snaver on his wheel for R3R. Andre Knotze from South Africa, New Zealand. Basically, South Africans living in New Zealand. These are the ones chasing it down. Snaver. Now James has gone over to and so's Yep. Now this is a big feature on Wahoo RGT. One that I really do like is that you can steer over to the inside of bends, and it will. I'm telling you now, it will save you a little bit of time. So the smart thing to do is use the steering and go around the inside of bends if you can. Andre Knotze now taking up the front position. Wouter Clay's on his wheel. If these two got away, could be trouble. 11.5 kilometres to go. I don't think Wouter will do that. I think he'll sit on Andre's wheel and just see where it takes him. I don't think Wouter will look for a big break here. I say, as he goes around the front, maybe he's looking to work together with Andre. Wouter steers into the middle. Andre a little bit slow to follow, and there's a little bit of a gap, so Andre not getting the best of drafts. No real big gap back to the peloton here, so I don't think this is... look how strung out it is. I'll go to him and back. Is that James Ogilvie? I can't believe... Hey, that is brilliant. 22nd, my good friend, James Ogilvie. I thought he was doing other things tonight. Oh, what privilege. Fantastic. Great to see you, James. Thanks for coming along. It's not like we never talk to each other. I think most of today we've been communicating one way or another. Absolutely fantastic to see you in the race, James. Thrilled to see you. So that's two of my good friends riding side by side for different teams. OTR. Look out for all the OTR events. There's some fantastic events coming up, and they're involved in other things too. But not least the time trials. The time trials they run are absolutely excellent. And talking about other events, I'm sure you all enjoyed Chase the Yellow during the summer in July. It really took Wahoo RGT by storm. They're actually putting on another series elsewhere as well that looks very promising too. Less stages, so actually it'll be easier for you to do. Stage one, this base camp on this island here from another platform. And let's see, stage two, coastal loop, that'll be a flat one. I've ridden that one. And let's see, only 83 metres and 32 kilometres there. Locked and loaded, this one actually I have ridden, and that's got a bit of climbing in it, I can tell you. And stage four here, again, there'll be climbing in that. So look out for that. Chase the Yellow, as I say, made a very big name, very big splash when it was on Wahoo RGT. There will be more series coming from them, so keep your eyes peeled. Wouter Clays is out the front now, not taking any draft. It's still Andre Canozzi with him, and Alistair McAlpine has now made his way to the front, and Jan van Oudenaarde is not far behind him. Keeping eyes on each other now, the Belgian and the Scot. Wouter Clays, though, taking a long term on the front, and I don't know whether this is tactical. I mean, it's a very flat course, so it's, there's no significant points. I mean, they're just going up this little bump now, but I wouldn't describe it. I live in the area, as I say, and as does Will Brown. We can see down there. Andre Canozzi from Manchester. Top Jimmy at 17th is there in the West London kit. He also lives around here, so he'll know all these roads. Not everybody does. Two Ratio riders next to each other. Ivan van Beurs, who definitely doesn't live around here. He's from the Netherlands. So you look at Will now, taking the inside bend, gains a couple of metres on the other riders. Will doing the right thing. Now, not everybody's got steering, and not everybody likes it, and not everybody uses it. Evan Oystensen now, 15th, R3R. Oh, great club. Rob Miller a couple of places ahead of him, but out of sight by the looks of things, because you're looking up the road from where Evans is, as you can't see everybody else. Here's Rob Miller in this pack here. Jep Snaver in there. Jorgen van Beurs, Ingmar's brother, sorry. Jep Snaver, Stevie Cooper. Who else have we got in there? Marino Sesson. This is the big name group, isn't it? It's the one to watch. And it's still that star, Wouter Clays. Oh, Jorgen van Beurs. Oh, I thought he was going to fall off the back of the group there, but he's got himself back on. So you go around the outside of the bend. Some of the riders sticking to the outside of the bend, not bothering with the steering, others making use of it. Of course, the thing is, the question is, if you go over the other side, do you lose some of the draft? There's a bit of a split here, isn't there? There's a bit of a split, and it's Dumont causing it again, the Belgian rider in the pink jersey. It's Wouter Clays chasing him. Rasmus Fedbull at third. Alistair McAlpine fourth at the moment. And Sam Josh in there as well. Carl Zander Persson, haven't mentioned him yet. I didn't realise he was in the group. The Swedish rider at 10th. Great to see you, Carl. Just ahead of Rob Miller from R3R. This is quite strewn at the back here, isn't it? Jorgen C.V. Cooper and Rob Miller there in a little line. I mean, it's almost like a time trial, but you can see the group ahead is a little bit lined out as well. This is often a sign that they're being stretched at the front by somebody putting a bit of pace on. And we see it's James Melville. Not for the first time in all the years he's been riding on our races. He's taking it out the front. Go on, James. The team from Dumbarton, and they passed the halfway stage there. 7.9 kilometres to go. The Purple Arch is the halfway stage. James is quite a bit of a gap there, 35 metres. He's not going to sustain that over nearly 8 kilometres. So, but James does put the pressure on. As we've said lots and lots of times before, sometimes moves like he's gone up to 44 metres. This is quite big. And if you look at the rest of the course, there's nothing too daunting in terms of climbs. James is from Dumbarton, and it's basically where the lowlands meet the highlands in Scotland. That might not be quite the accurate term, but it's he will have a lot of climbs in his vicinity. So times wouldn't put him off, but I think he's just looking at those and thinking, well, that's nothing. However, he is being reeled in by the front runners, Dumont now, and Jan van Oudenaarde, one of the R3R riders, and the man most likely to challenge Alistair McAlpine if anything goes wrong for Alistair. Carl Zanderperson now, I know he's been out riding already this week on one of my other races elsewhere, so he's really putting a lot in. I don't know what the weather's like out there in Sweden, Carl, but it's a lovely sunny evening here in West London at the moment, a bit like it looks on your screen, I can honestly tell you. And to get such a great turnout on an evening like this, absolutely fantastic. Rasmus Feldball, the Dane just behind, and Wouter Klees, Jan van Oudenaarde. These are big names. These are the names that are always changing these races, and they are great riders, every one of them. They know the platform, they know how to race, they know each other as well, and I think that's one of the interesting things. And they're all so friendly as well. You know, some of the banter you see between them is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, this group now is a good 200 metres or more ahead of the one behind it. So this is what happens, and we're quite happy with this. We like races within races. So if you are a mid sort of tier rider, if you end up in a decent batch and have a good sprint amongst your peers, that's fantastic. And there's no real need to worry about what the front of the race is doing. Although I think the pack behind Carl might be a bit worried. They're going up to 50 metres he's got on them here. We know he's a strong rider. I still think this is early though. And this is, we've seen this several times now where somebody's gone solo and carved out, 30 to 50 metres, got reeled in again. As I say, quite often the damage is off the back. And you can see Alistair McAlpine just having to fight his way back onto that top 10 group. I don't think Alistair will be too worried if Carl Zanderperson won it. And from the point of view that basically Alistair just has to kind of match or better or get very close to Jan van Oudenaarde. So Jan Vanna and Alistair are really the ones keeping an eye on each other, and it's like one of those things where if the breakaway goes, it doesn't really matter as long as your rival isn't in it. But for the rest of them, there's a lot of prestige in winning one of these races, and we can see the pressure that Dumont is putting on now. We've still got this sort of 10 together though, haven't we? It's not, they're doggedly staying on, every one of them, aren't they? And you've got this nearly 200 metres back after Stevie Cooper. Well, it's 14th. Sorry, I beg your pardon, I'm reading the wrong place, aren't I? Rasmus is 200 metres ahead of Jep Snaver, is what I should be saying. I'm afraid he does, by the time you read where the positions are and then sort of actually state them, sometimes everything's shuffled, so it doesn't kind of look right. But the top 10 now, 200 metres away from the second group. So we don't think that they're going to make that up. That's not going to change. It's whether everybody can stay in the top 10, what happens at the end. And if you look at the end, if you look at the profile at the bottom, the end is where the little purple sort of banner is at the end of that long green line, which shows you the gradient, the profile. It's, as I say, it's not a tough course. They're on a little bit of a climb now. Look, 1.6. It's going like 3.6, but it's a ramp. It's seconds, isn't it? And it's not going to hurt too much. It's not long enough for anybody to attack. We've only got a couple more of the little brown sections to come. If you look at the profile at the bottom, the brown sections are steep, the blue sections are downhill. Okay, that's a little bit broken up. The 10 riders a bit strewn out. Is that going to come together again? My instinct tells me yes, even though there are little splits in there. I think it will come together. James Melville causing the problem off the front. Moonriders, Wouter Klees in second on his wheel. Alistair McAlpine coming up now to join the trio. But look behind the next 6 riders all together there, and probably a big enough group to work together and catch the front 3. Particularly with the time left over in the race, we've got a gap of about 37 metres back, and again, it's the top 10 now. Look at that there, 300 metres ahead of Jep Snaver, who's leading the chase for RER and Denmark, and the Denmark in 10th and 11th, but a 300 metre gap between the two of them. Look at that. Yeah, Jorgen van Beurs in there, and in fact, that little group is now a long way ahead of the group behind, including our good friend James Ogilvy, Carl Dickerson in there, Grant Webb, Jorgen van Beurs, Evans Ostenson, Will Brown, so Gautam Thacker now is 130 metres behind Will Brown, who's in a little group ahead of him. So plenty of groups. There should be some good sprint finishes now in some of these groups, and we should look forward to enjoying those. Only 3.5 kilometres to go for the front people, though. Wouter Clay's now causing trouble on the front, and why wouldn't he? And there is a bit of a split in this group now. It's whittled down to 2 groups of 5 by the looks of it. This could be significant. They are chasing behind. Will they close the gap? These aerial shots are giving you a very good view of what it is, and you can imagine that not everybody is going to get back on this group at this point. The thinning down of the group has probably started about now. I can't see that being more than about 6 or 7 at the finishing line. Looking at the gaps now, the front group has got up to 7 now. Maybe the other 2 just behind are going to do it, but I do think there's Jan van Oudenaarde has fallen off the back. That is quite decisive. That is going to make a big difference, and if Alistair McAlpine is aware of that, he needs to get himself at the front. Now, the way the points in the series score, you get points for position. A big time gap doesn't make any difference. So really and truly, if Alistair only finishes 1 place ahead of Jan van Oudenaarde, but 300 metres ahead, he'll only get 1 point more because it's on positions, not distance or speed. And so therefore, if Alistair really wants to make the most of this race, he needs to sort of like try and finish as far ahead of 9th as he can. It's Andre Canozzi. He's swinging about a little bit with the steering. I'm not sure why you would do that. I mean, in real life, we do that up a steep hill sometimes. Look at the way he's steering in and out. I wonder if something's not quite right, because he's not getting the benefit of the draft, and there's something wrong, isn't there? I mean, he's either... I don't really understand why he's steering like that. It's as if something's gone wrong, or who knows? I've been in the garage swearing when something's fallen over or something and knocked all the settings. But so I think we've lost another one off the front there. Brings us down to a group of 8. Andre still 100 metres ahead of Jan van Oudenaarde, but that is the big news of the day. Jan now is going to lose places to Alistair. Alistair at 3rd at the moment. Don't read too much into that, though, because he's still in a group of a decent size, and there's still over a kilometre to go. So let's see how the sprint plays out. This could be a good one. Marino Sesson in there. He's got a strong engine riding for Team ADR. James Melville, we know James. We love it when James is in the race because he absolutely lights them up. But Rasmus Velpool, Sam Josh in here, and who else? We've got Colsander, Person, Alistair McAlpine, we know about, Dumont, Marino Sesson, James Melville. These are the names. Marino Sesson does this quite a lot. He does try to eke out a little bit of a gap. James Melville responds. One day this is going to really work for, it has done in the past, but it doesn't always. Rasmus Velpool just falling off the back. The Dane not quite staying in that group. Alistair McAlpine now trying to stay in 4th position. They go under the Flamme Rouge. 1 kilometre to go. Alistair McAlpine has got himself in that front group. And as we've seen so many times, we've got 2 Glasgow United riders in the front 3 or 4. But that's grown a little bit now. It's up to 5 in that group now. Dumont has got on it as well in the black and white striped shirt. The pink shirt is Dumont. The black and white striped one is, of course, Colsander Person. So we've now got a group of 6 at the front. We've dropped Rasmus and somebody else anyway. But really, I think there's 2 things. Who wins the race and whether Alistair McAlpine can really distance himself. Well, maybe Sam Josh and Rasmus can get back on. They're not as far back as I thought. 500 metres to go, though. I think it's going to explode and they're not going to have a chance. So what's happening in the front group? 450 metres to go. I don't think they can do it. It's Wouter Clay's. And it's Colsander Person who goes first. 350 metres to go. It's still a long way. It doesn't sound it, but it is. Nobody's worried yet. Everybody just sitting on wheels. James Melville and Wouter Clays the closest. Wouter is probably going to go past now and go for it. He can see the line. 150 metres to go. Karl-Sander Persson tries to respond to Wouter Clays. Marino Sesson probably left that a little bit too late, but looks the strongest out of the finishers. I think Marino's going to get second after Wouter Clays takes another win. Karl-Sander Persson unlucky to get third, but what a terrific finish. Rasmus coming in seventh. Sam Josh at eighth. Dumont got sixth. James Melville fifth. Alice McAlpine at fourth. Will be very happy with that. Ninth is Andre Knutze, who dropped off for South Africa, New Zealand. Now, is Jan van Oudenaarde going to finish 10th? Yes, he is. So the gap really, probably about 6 points. That really does take the lead in the series. Here comes Jan van now, coming in 10th. Time doesn't matter. It's the position. He's got 10th. You know, maybe 6 places behind Alistair there in the series. Alistair getting another 6 points. Alistair looking comfortable. Jorgen van Beurs, the first of the Van Beurs brothers to come home for Ratio Racing. Yet Snaver in there as well. Rob Miller for R3R. Stevie Cooper coming in at 14th. Scotland, the other Glasgow United rider alongside Alistair and James. Will Brown, fantastic finish, Will. Well done, that's 15th. A bit solo at the moment, comfortably ahead, not going to be challenged on the line. Although Grant Webb is getting a bit close, isn't he? Grant Webb's knocked that down about, I don't think. Oh my goodness, look at this. Will, I don't know. Did Will lose that or not? I'm not sure. We'll have to see when the results came out. That was, I saw Curtin Thacker in that sprint as well. That was cracking, wasn't it? I think Will just about held on. Let's have another look. Oh, this is the front. This is the front one. Wouter Clays. You see Marino Sesson coming here. Karl-Sander Persson. Everybody else now dropped off by about 10 metres. James Melville and Anthony McAlpine. Wouter comfortable in the end. Marino leaving that a little bit too late. And Reese now. This is Curtin Thacker coming in at 24th. Let's see Bellio for OTR at. Here's Johan Olofsson at 25th out solo, not in a group. I'm not sure what happened to Johan there. Let's just have a look at that position in there. And Jan van Oudenaarde getting that 10th, but look, 4th for Alistair McAlpine. That is the big news of the day. So, Wouter Clays with another victory. Well done, Wouter. A superb rider, of course. Marino Sesson. I think you left your sprint a little bit late there, Marino. Karl-Sander Persson, terrific race, and he's been racing a week as far as I can tell. Well done, Carl. Had to settle for third, but finished third strongly. Alistair McAlpine taking fourth, just ahead of his teammate James Melville for Glasgow United. Antoine Dumont at sixth. Rasmus Feldball, the Dane, at seventh. Sam Josh, eighth, as we see Johan finish. Mike Wareham coming in now, just ahead of Andrew Walker. Remember Andrew dropping off the front group earlier. And Danny Stain for South Africa, New Zealand coming in there. Al Marchi coming in 30th with a nice little wave. Well done. We like it when you wave to the commentator. Who have we got now? Geriatric, AB Geriatric. I'm kind of going to assume that's not your real name, but it's. I like it, though. I do like it. 250 metres to go as we go past the 250 metres banner. Geriatric you may be, but you've got a nice 70-odd metres gap ahead of Lawrenson, the Dane, and who else? A few others, haven't you? Ron Egger in there as well. I see Gilmore, the Castler. There's two Castlers, and I never quite get the first names right. So here we are. Lawrenson coming in for Denmark in red, in Denmark colours. Not sure if it's an ECKD rider, but I assume he is. Anton Wouters, as opposed to Wouters Clay. Anton Wouters from the Netherlands taking 33rd. More coming in at 36th. Sorry, what am I on about? 35th. I'm doing you out of a place. It's disgusting, isn't it? I think it's Carlos Costello. Probably, apologies if it isn't. But well done. Clean. He's got about 90 metres on 200 metres on Brett Smith. Brett riding with Andy Evans. Well, there's probably a 60 metre gap, so maybe not. And I think Brett's 50 metres banner. Geriatric you may be, but you've got Carlos Costello actually 36. Brett Smith 37th. Andy Evans at 38. As we watch one coming in. Excellent stuff. Well done, you. Rob Gilmore coming in at 36th. Sorry, what am I on about? 35th. I'm doing you out of a place. It's disgusting, isn't it? I think it's Carlos Carcella. Probably, apologies if it isn't. But well done. Clean. He's got about 90 metres on 200 metres on Brett Smith. Brett riding with Andy Evans. Well, there's probably a 60-metre gap, so maybe not. And I think Brett's interesting. I think Brett's probably going to keep himself clear of Andy at least. I think Andy had some issues earlier in the week with his smart trainer dropping out, but looks like he's going to finish strongly today. Well done, Mr. Carcella. Brett Smith coming in next, riding for West London, of course. And we'll watch Brett come over the line. Going on, obviously, 26th, Mike Wareham, 27th, Andrew Walker at 28th, Danny Stain at 29th, Al Markey. Here comes Andy Evans. Glad to see you finish this time, Andy. I know you had some problems earlier in the week, so that's good news. And Vassilotti, Migu Canada, we're on now. Vassilotti's ahead of him. Migu Canada is coming in. Oh no, I was going to say something's broken down. This is the finishing line. This is what happens when you finish. Your avatar slows down and you go over to the side of the pen. Harry Smith is E-Long at 41st. I don't know who E-Long is. There is a surname called Long, I know, because I actually have a cousin whose surname's Long, so it could be real. Could be real. Migu Canada always does his races, and I think Migu doesn't miss a race because he understands that if you turn up every week, you don't have to win. And if you collect all the points every week, you can actually get quite a nice position in the table. And there's a number of riders like Migu who are nicely placed in the table by just clocking up points every week and enjoying being here. Here we have E-Long. As I say, I don't know if it's a real name, but I can vouch that there is such a surname because I have a cousin with that surname. 41st, you can see Migu. I wonder if he's going to catch Migu. They got enough space, 800 metres. It's probably a bit far, but it looks to me as if he's got a bit of speed up here as Long. But we do all the puns now about it being a long way to catch up Migu. I think Migu's holding the distance now, isn't he? I think Migu's all right. They're doing similar speeds. They're both on about 35. Migu's slightly slower. Look, 34.8 on a minus gradient, which suggests that maybe Long's he's down to 50 metres, but there's 5. Do you know what? This could be a bit of a race. No, Migu's pulled it out a bit now. Migu's slowing down a bit though to 31. The gap's gone out a little bit. It's coming down again around 50 metres, but running out a road really for Long. He's down to he's under 50 metres, 400 to go. Actually, you can see visibly that the distance has come down a bit. Now, if Long can keep up this pressure, we might have a bit of a race on here. Now, it might be 40th position, but mark my words, some of these are really exciting. Look at the gap. It's right down to 30 metres, 200 to go. He's on course to make the catch. You can see the finishing line. This must be agonising. Migu's got to work. You've got to work, Migu. If you're going to hold this off, you need to go into sprint mode now, but I think Long's going to take it. If Migu gets out of the saddle, he tries to fight back, but I think Long's just got the legs to do that. And Migu's fighting back. He's not taking it lying down, but realises that it's all too late. What a fantastic little duel. Well done, Mr. Long, and well done, Migu, for being part of the fun. Migu does like to sprint at the end. I mean, I've seen him do this to a few people. Harry Smits. We love Harry Smits. Team Lou. Lou's called Lou Ricks, of course, from America. Harry's from the Netherlands. I like Harry. He's always makes me smile on social media whenever he posts, which is not all the time, of course, but I have to tell you, it's a man with a sense of humour, and we like that. So great to see you, Harry, and well done. 42nd place, coming in at 33 kph as we hit the start line, 150 metres to go, and another one clocked up by the great Harry Smits, one of our favourites. So we have the other Carcella. I've got a feeling it might be Oscar for the other Carcella, but again, if I've got this completely wrong, please correct me. You can find me on social media. I think it's Oscar anyway. But the other Carcella, the Spaniard, coming in now. Great to see. I assume that they are somehow connected. But of course, it's not for certain, is it? Great finish. Well done, if it is Oscar. Jessica Wright. We love Jessica too. She just loves to come out and race. It looks like she's going to be quite pleased with herself today because she's going to finish ahead of Marchie, who's quite a way behind at 1.8 kilometres. Well done, Jessica. And I think that might actually... I'm just trying to think. I don't think there were too many other ladies in the race today. There's Jane Marchie also riding as a lady. So I think we might have just seen Jessica win the ladies' race. Because I know Eileen and I think Lisa Snell's smart trainer's broken down. She's trying to borrow one at the moment. I definitely know that Eileen couldn't race tonight. And say Maria Witzke he's got a slight injury. It's nothing too bad before you get too worried. It's basically precautionary. It's got a small injury and she's got a big race coming up in real life and decided that the best thing to do would be not to risk antagonising the injury. 1.47 kilometres for Jay Marchie. Let's go back to these results. Oscar Carcelo, I got that one right. Oh, it's Chima. I thought it was Carlos Costello. Number 36 is the one I got wrong. It's Chima Costello. So, looking at 26 onwards, Johan Orlovsky, Mike Wareham, great names. Andrew Walker, we saw, he put quite a lot into that race, didn't he? He illuminated it quite a lot. Danny Staines, of course, and from South Africa, New Zealand. Al Marchie, Andrew B. Geriatric. So now we know it's Andrew B. I'm sure he's not geriatric. Michael Lauritsen and Anton Wouter are the next two. Russ Egger, I think I might have got his name wrong as well. Robert Gilmore, which I didn't get wrong. Chima Carcella, as we said, 36. My good friend Brett Smith at 37. Andy Evans, another local rider from around here, 38. Mark Vassilotti from the United States at 39th. Ed Long. So it is a real name, yeah. See, I told you. Ed Long, now we know. Ed Long with that fantastic duel. Ed and Migu producing a fantastic little finish there at the end. Harry Smits, Oscar Carcella, Jessica Wright, as we know, at 44th. And we're going to see very shortly Jay Marchie finish. So while she's doing that, let's have a look at the top, because we haven't mentioned everybody down the bottom half of the top, if that makes sense. Bouncer Clays, Marino Sesson, Carl Axel Zander even. Alistair McAlpine, James Melville, Antoine Dumont, Rasmus Feldbull, Sam Josh, Andre Canozzi, Jan van Ordnod, and Jorgen van Beurs at 11th. Jep Snaver taking 12th. Rob Miller at 13th. 14th, Stevie Cooper from Glasgow United. Ratio Racing's Andre Kajewski at 15th. Will Brown taking 16th. Great result, Will. And getting down to Jim Ogilvie in a minute. Ingmar van Beurs, the second of the two Van Beurs brothers, finishing there. Great to have a little chat on social media with you today. Ingmar, thanks for contacting me. Grant Webb and Top Jimmy James from Uxbridge, as the radio station has called him. And Jim and James, well, 19th and 20th, and I know them both. Jim Ogilvie, absolute honour and a pleasure to have you along today, James. Thanks for racing. I'm sure we'll be bantering very, very soon on social media, as we always do. Carl Dickerson, and by the way, I'm looking forward to that beer next month in Kent. Carl Dickerson from South Africa, New Zealand, 21st. Craig Jones, 22nd. Craig putting in some great results these days. Pedro Rees at 23rd. Galton Thacker, he's got to put up with me on a trip to France on Saturday. He's 24th. We're riding Paris-Brest-Paris, and so not only will we have the trip across to France, he'll have 4 days cycling with me on the road. Stephen Bellio, one of the OTR riders, basically OTR, pretty much run by Jim Ogilvie, at 25th. Well done, Stephen. And we watched Jay Marchie come in. Well done. So that's it, 45 finishers. And I think we had a couple of them. We certainly had more than that on the start line. So some unfortunate people didn't make it, but let's recap. All the results and everything will be up very, very shortly at westlondoncycling.com. It's westlondoncycling.com. The results will be up there. There's a little tab towards the top of the web page that you can click on to get all the standings. They will be up very, very shortly. And, of course, we will be posting up all the other information, results on the website very, very soon. Plenty to look out for, and it looks like my banner's been fallen down while we've done the race. Look out for Chase the Yellow. They're going to actually, that brand is going to go places, trust me. And they've got lots more coming up, so keep your eyes open for that. West London, we're doing lots and lots. We're doing more and more as we get more established, and we are absolutely loving the responses we're getting. Another 47 riders on the start line today. Sorry, there's more than that on the start line, I think, but certainly 45 finishers. For a summer, really, and certainly in the UK, it's a nice summer evening. We think that's marvellous, and we thank you very much for being with us, whether you're listening or riding or watching. So 2 weeks' time before we do the next West London VR here on Wahoo RGT. Other broadcasts are available, including us, Chase the Yellow and OTR. So look out for those. Thanks very much to ZMS, as ever, who produce these things. They really are great, aren't they? Thanks very much, Damon, and we'll see you all in a fortnight. Bye.